Right, hello and welcome back to another training session for Irons FC. This is the recording training session number 2. So we had this earlier with some extra new faces. As you can see, the guys are just going through their warm-up at the beginning of each of the sessions. We try to keep it consistent. So some of the guys doing this wrong, turning into the knee pointing forward. That's what it should look like, but we're still making that mistake. But it's fine, we'll work on these small things so that we can look more professional each time. So just short, sharp stuff, and then obviously some stretches before we go into some real work, which we'll see in a minute. So here we're just picking out the guys that came on time and early to the training session, and in a second we're going to look at what we do with players that come late. As we've mentioned before a few times, we are building discipline for everybody. So these guys were late, some of them by literally a matter of seconds, but the idea is nobody is bigger than the club. So some hard sprint work as a form of discipline, but hopefully we won't see them being late again. And this applies to everybody, every single person has to suffer, so that we win as a team and we lose as a team. But this is nice to see, it's nice to see everyone at least being intense about it.
But if you were lazy, I'd make you do it twice. But it's going well. So keep it up. Keep it up. Stay together, Mukhtar. That's your team. Stay together. Well, then make them.
So, Mukhtar, just a note to you, my friend. Again, complaining straight away. This has to leave your game. If I'm going to analyse you as an individual, it's just the attitude. The attitude has to be fixed. Less complaining, less blaming others. Start taking more responsibility. If you were to do that, take your game to the next level. So typically how we start all of our training sessions after we've warmed up. My cats are fighting in the background, you might hear that, my apologies. But we go for the rondos. A rondo is extremely important for players to understand how to deal with the ball in a close range situation, and then vision enough to find the passes in close spaces. This is nice to see. Actually, I haven't seen this footage yet. This is the first time I'm looking at it. Really, really nice plays. Much better than last week. If we look at last week's footage, very slow, lethargic, but this is a lot more intense. Very nice to see. Bit of a bad touch there from Farouk, but the ball wasn't great either. So it would be more advisable to punch the passes into each other. It doesn't have to go across each time, it can just go short like that. And then here we just need to raise the intensity, letting Fuad come in and take the ball, because we're not being intense, and now the ball ends up going into the air. It just needs to be quicker, everything just needs to be quicker. This is nice, but it has to be 2 touches, I believe, so messed it up there. Right, again, Sumbul, I don't know why he always does this. Watching him for ages, he always does this. 1 touch when it's a 2-touch game. Have to take the 2-touch. So the reason why we get the players to play the 2-touch, the rule is simple. They have to take 2. They can't take 3, they can't take 1, they have to take 2. It forces them into a position where they have to take a good touch and then immediately know where the pass is going. So the more uncomfortable we make our players, the easier the 11-a-side game will become during the league. And some of the guys ask me, can we just do 1 touch? Can we just do 1 touch? That's easy. That's probably the easiest form of a rondo. But being in a position where you are forced to take a touch and immediately know where the next pass is going, That's what makes really good footballers.
7, 8.
Nice, simple. So the second press isn't coming quick enough, and that's why these guys are running hard.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nice. Good change of play there by Mukhtar, but then again complaining. Stop that, Mukhtar. You need to stop doing that. It's not good enough. Mistakes happen. Got to encourage.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Nice. And that's how easy it is. It really is that simple. If you just play the short, easy pass, if the defenders aren't pressing you, just get 2 or 3 quick passes, and then they have 10 passes to make it a life. And again, Mukhtar complaining. So if I had a counter for how many times Mukhtar has complained, I think that's 3 so far. Nice little nutmeg there by Farouk there. That's an extra life for the guys in the middle, and another nutmeg, I think. Let's go. Good, good. Nice and simple. This is nice and simple. It's unlucky there. Just open up the body and nice and simple. So we've instructed the goalkeeper, Marwan, here to use his hands in the middle. So if he ever does go in the middle, he has the ability to use his hands to add more pressure. So at this stage now, we've got our new assistant coach, Sambo, to help us out as well. And we're going to split the group into 2, because we are fortunate enough to have around 22 to 23 players. I think we ended up with 24 at one point. Sorry, we didn't split the group at this point. We didn't split it yet. But what we did do is make 3 teams, because we had 21 players.
7 and 7. Yeah, there's a box there. There's a box there. Can you see it? Okay. When your box is there, this thing here, like this. Yeah, all of that. Okay. You 7 are going to keep the ball. All right. 3 touches maximum. 3 of you defenders, you're going to pick up your pink. You're going to run in, and you're going to try to get the ball. They need to make, let's say 6. 6 passes. Actually, there's 7 of you. You need to make 7 passes. Okay. After 7, you need to pump it to this team.
So this exercise is basically another rondo, but a variation. So it's still a possession-based game, but this time what we're trying to do is, once they've achieved a certain number of passes, it needs to then open up and go to the other team. So here we're going to see, I think they started with 3 defenders in the box versus 7 players for the possession team. And they have to make 6 or 7 passes, and once they've completed that, they can then switch the play to the other team. But you're going to see some relatively bad football here. They're allowed 3 touches before the ball turns over.
5, 6, 7. No, too late. 3, 4, 5. Out. Move, guys.
And he's outside the box, so that's out. Just got to be more aware. So I'm glad that the boys, you can all see this training session for yourself from my eyes, because as you can see, it's very low intensity, and then, you know, misplaced passes, a lot of disorganization, no leaders on the pitch, or not enough leaders on the pitch controlling the situation. By this point, we weren't receiving quality on the ball, so we changed it to just 2 defenders, still with 7 possession members, and even then we were struggling. I think we reduced the passes to 5 as well. There's good movement by Fuad in the middle. At least he's the only one giving an option in the middle to receive the ball, but it just doesn't come. And these passes are very loose. We have another changeover, turnover, and the Pinks are now the possession team. It's just so crowded, so crowded. I'm just looking at this now for the first time. Extremely crowded. This is better. More space, nice and easy. And the pass went and got intercepted. So did everything right there, and then just played it along the floor. Here you can see 3 Pinks there in the corner, all standing next to each other. That's why the possession got turned over. This is nice by the non-Pinks. That's a bad touch from Samra. He's got 3 touches he can take. Very lazy from Sumbul there. It's just laziness. You'll see it throughout this session. Very slow to react. You know, when they lose the ball, no one really cares. Right, and then I think for the first time we finally get the ball over. That I believe is outside the box. And somehow I missed that. And I mean, that is not good enough, especially for somebody with a player of Fuad's level. Should be a lot better there. Just explaining here now, you'll probably hear me saying that, you know, you're in a position where you have the ball.
How many defenders do they have?
You're overloaded.
He passed it to me.
Okay, so before that they had it, right? Okay. First of all, this isn't helpful. All right, you're following the defender. Don't do that. Come here. Come over. All right, keep coming. Come over.
Right, so our biggest problem during drills, not during matches, but during the drills, is we just follow the ball.
Come stand in between. Okay? Is it easier now? It's not him, it's the movement. It's so lazy. All 3 teams. It's so lazy. Everybody's just get to the ball, get out wide and give him the angles. Okay?
So something that professional footballers do very well, they find angles for each other. So they're usually in line with each other, they're square with each other. Over here, the Pinks again panicking. They can reset the ball and go long. There's only 2 defenders. We have to remember there's 7 guys versus 2, and the 2 guys are giving them trouble. And that's Mukhtar complaining again, so that's 4 complaints. Mukhtar, it's a nice switch there. I don't know how many times I said switch there because the possession had turned over. Ball went out there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 passes and went over. It's meant to be 5, so didn't listen to instructions, so that's a turnover.
Stop passing, quick! Stop passing, go! 1, 2, not pink, not pink! Someone! Not pink! Wake up! You guys won the ball! 3, it's not pink, it's them! 4!
Right, Sumbul complaining there, but this guy, I mean, Sumbul, if you're listening to this, this is your biggest problem. You do not listen. Just a bit slow. Got to be aware of what's going on. So the other team turned it over. It's not your time to defend. So there were no angles there for Soma. I literally had 1 pass, it got covered, and that's it. So he got tackled. And this is what we're going to see again and again throughout this entire session. It doesn't get any better. I asked for 3 touches, so about 5 touches there. This is better. And that's better as well. This is nicer by the Pinks. I can see some very nice positioning here, but bad touch, Sumbul. Bad set. So it feels like the Pinks have figured it out. The Pink guys there had figured it out a little bit more as to where to be when they get the ball in possession. What angles to go. But this is nice. So we were using space. A bad touch again. Not the greatest pass, but I'm going to fast forward from this point now because this is getting quite boring to watch because it's not sexy at all. If it was good to look at, I'd keep the rest of the footage in, but it's so bad. I think we should all be embarrassed to see this sort of stuff.
لسه جوه اللاين.
So we are back. Sorry, I had a bit of food and I've jumped back on. So just explaining to the guys that we're going to split into two groups here. Most of the attackers on one side and then the defenders on the other, working on shape. So we have Fouad at the end there, putting a relatively simple ball in to the attackers. It should be a relatively simple ball, not like that. And the touch should first time go into the D area and then stay there. So boom, like that. Brilliant touch. Good finish, but probably wouldn't have gone in a game because it wasn't really in the corner. Right. So Mukhtar and Zorba both did something that I saw there, which in my opinion is not the intensity I'm looking for. That's better. By Paul, it needs to be a touch and straight away into the shot. If you rewind it, you'll see the first two, Mukhtar and Zorba, they take a touch, they set themselves, they take an extra, time to think about it, and by that point, a defender's probably closed them down. That touch was obviously quite bad. It hit the shin. In a game, somebody's tackled that. It's a lovely touch. It's a lovely ball. But again, with Ram, when you're watching this, you have to do it in a game situation. You can't take a touch, admire your touch. There. This is a good touch and a good pace towards trying to get the shot off. Bad touch. And nice finish, almost got it. Well dealt with by Mukhtar. Good save by Marwan there. Nice touch. Almost. A very nice touch. So here's Samra, just a word of advice. You're still reaching for the shot, like really stretching your body into the shot rather than driving your foot through. Very slow intensity. Very, very slow. Needs to be quicker. Just needs to be quicker. When you guys are watching this back now, imagine you're in a game. You're not going to get this time. You're not going to get this time. You're not going to get these chances. Nice. Almost had it. The less we talk about that touch, the better. The finish was good. Should be trying to take the touch with the instep, not trying to trap it under your foot. So we have to give a big shout out to the goalkeeper, because this is very tough work when you're the only goalkeeper and you have fresh guys coming up and taking shots non-stop all night. Very tiring. Great finish. I think that went in and it went out the other side of the net, I think. That same touch again. It's a dangerous touch, because if you miss the ball, you're done. Don't have the body behind it. It's a nice finish there by Tolba. Joined us today for a training session from Vikings. Nice work there. This is much better now. The finishing is better. Great save. Good hands. So there's no point me editing just the highlights of training, because I need everybody to see where they're going wrong, what they're doing right. So just a little feedback there from Marwan. He's an excellent goalkeeper, but he's a 5-a-side goalkeeper, so he's obviously still learning the 11-a-side stuff. Great saves there. Just feel free to close the angles. I know it's very tiring because you have to keep coming out every time they have an opportunity. And again there, Mukhtar, nice touch, but just too slow. That's not a game situation. But back to Marwan, yeah, just feel free if you have the energy to push up, close the angle a bit and make the goal look smaller. Again, very, very slow work. So good touch and then just too slow. And over here we're looking at the other group that was working while the shooting practice was going on. So here we're just working on a 4v4. It then turned into a 5v5. So we can just really focus on defensive shape. And I think we've gone back to the shooting drill, so I'm hoping more of the shooting, the defensive drill does come up. But if it doesn't, the main idea behind that was just to figure out where our defensive shape needs to be in different places. Far too many touches, way too slow, and again, low intensity. So we're looking at our first team striker here. Takes a nice touch and then too slow. That is again in a game that's not going in. It's going straight down the keeper. And Mukhtar, if you're watching this, it's got to be quicker. You're seeing it yourself now. You're seeing your mistakes. You know, where's the intensity? You know, the guys here, they're getting the ball. I don't think I was watching at this point. I've only just come back now, but the guys are getting the ball. They're super slow. They're just walking around everything. Everything is at walking pace. Nice touch, got it out of his feet well and found the bottom corner, which I like to see. So this is going over to the shape drill. A little bit more footage here. It's a nice switch. So what we're trying to focus on with the players is the width isn't going to hurt us. It's that central zone, that danger area. So how do we as a defensive team cover that and make sure that we are tight around the middle of the pitch? Hannah nearly died there, so almost lost our camerawoman. Nice, well asked for, well returned. There, see, so for Hamid, if you're watching this, that pass should have happened a lot earlier. You've ran another, 2 or 3 meters towards him. Why? Pass it and then ask for the pass back, but you've ran all the way to him and then brought the other team with you and then you've passed it to him. So when you replay that, you'll see it. And over here now we're working on movement. So one of the biggest problems we have when we attack in game, our movement is very sloppy, very reactive. So here we're just making players understand, run at the defender, take him with you and then quickly change direction, so that you get that 1 yard of space. In football you need is 1 yard and you should be able to bury it. I asked Paul here to make the pass harder. I thank him for that, because in the game it's never going to just roll to you. As you can see, we begin to struggle at one point there. Right, so Tolba there, you can probably hear me saying more conviction. So it's not, you're not selling it to me that you're taking me away. Right? It needs to, the defender needs to commit to running with you, and then you need to change direction. Ask for the ball. That's better. That's what I want to see for this. Very nice there. The finish obviously could be better. This is not intense enough, Tolba. The finish, running onto the ball, everything is 40%. That's nice from Kareem. Go one way or the other. Finish. You gotta put these away from 6 yards out, guys. Come on.
Hey, make it count. I want to see a hard chop. Hard chop, hard chop, hard chop. Lazy.
That's lazy. Mukhtar, you can hear me saying it, and you can see it yourself. You're jogging in, changing direction like it's nothing. You're not fooling anybody. And then obviously the finish, blazed it over from 6 yards. Forced passes there. So we don't, in an exercise like this, it's not about forcing the pass and scoring goals. It's about how much can you make the other guys run. Really important that the other guys are doing the running and you are breathing and just keeping the ball, and you're in charge of the game. Boss the game. That's nice, just keeping it. That's good. Now Sambo, you should be dropping right off there. That's good positioning there, Sambo. Should be doing it a little bit earlier, but it's good. Should be going back across. Good. Drop off again, Sambo. So that's how it should be. We should be always looking for our angles, so that the guy with the ball can always find us. It just makes their life easier.
You do this perfectly. In the game, this is like your bread and butter. But it's the finish that you don't do. This bit is where I want to see you shine. I want to see you finish it. Yeah?
So this is me talking to Mukhtar. In the game, we all know that he's very good finding those pockets of spaces in front of the centre back. The finish needs to be better. That's what's missing from Mukhtar's game, is just the finish and the intensity of taking the extra touches, and it slows everything down.
Right, guys, whoever's going to take the first shot, stand in front of me. Whoever's going to take the second shot, and even
We're just setting up now to get everybody involved in a bit of shooting practice. Everybody loves shooting. Probably the most fun part of training. Just want to see these guys take a set themselves up. Under a bit of pressure. So I'm applying a bit of, I would say, pushing pressure on the back of these guys to simulate what it's like in a game. Because defenders aren't going to sit here passively and just chill. They're going to want the ball as well. So in these positions, when they have a bit of pressure, it's how they deal with it. When they're off balance, when they only have 1 meter to work with. So that's what we're going to see in a second when we get to it. Here we go. So what I'm asking the players to do is push back on the defender. So I'm giving them a bit of a push, not anything too great. You're going to see the players here, they're all grown up men, but I mean, they're not acting like it. They should be really pushing, leaning into the defender here. Ruthless. We're looking for ruthless players. That finish needs to be better. So I'm expecting more from Mukhtar here. Into feet. Again, there's no pushback on the centre back to make him be used like a wall. Push off the centre back like he's a wall. And then you make the centre back off balance, you give yourself a spring. And so look, Paul is huge here. Should be able to push me off with no problem. The pass could have been better, to be honest with you. Paul's a big guy, so he's very hard to deal with, so he does a very good job doing this. Again, Sambo, you'll watch yourself, you're stretching for the ball a lot. So here we're going to just see, I'm just telling Zorba what I'm looking for is... Okay, there, this one was wrong, I think, the first one. You'll see me trying to coach him that, he needs to use that physical strength of his. Right, so that's the movement, it's the spring. Spring off the man, get him out of the way, give yourself a meter or a yard to work with. He's off balance, he's going the wrong way, you're going the right way. That's what we have to do. I think down the line, when it comes to Zorba's turn again, he does it really well. This is our centre back, and that's zero physicality there. you know, and then walking back. It's just, I hate to see this sort of stuff. I really hate to see it. You know, this is weak. I'm barely moving. I want you guys to hit me, to push me, to, you know, make me feel like I have no control in the situation. The touches are nice, don't get me wrong, but it's that physical aspect of using your body. There's none of it. There's none of it. I should be flying. I should be really, really flying off, but I'm not. And these finishes are not going to score us any goals in the league. Again, no pushing off the defender. Got to push off the defender. Bad pass. Well dealt with. Very well dealt with by Faris. Nice touch. Really nice touch. But again, there's no physicality. This is nice, I think, from memory. And Zorba actually shows us how it's done. There you go. Look at that. I went flying. For the first time, I went flying. All you have to do is just push me. And then you've got Hamid, who's just, again, never listens. Right, I'm looking for what Zorba did there. That big push. If we go back to that, you'll see it. That's better from Mukhtar. Nice push, great finish. Now, if he does this in the league, he'll be scoring goals for fun. Because he gets in that position in front of the back four. He gets in front of that last man. He rolls them very well. He just needs to finish. So, Mukhtar, if you're listening to this, it's got to be early. You've got to be able to trust yourself for that shot. Right, so we're not running into the defender. Kareem, we're not meant to run into the defender. We're meant to push the defender. Like, really let him know you're there. You know, we as defenders, our life is easy. And that's nice from Gadalla again. Really, really nice by the captain. Good by Farouk, just to touch, let him down a bit. That's nice, very nice. Jabri there, small guy, but used his physicality. Nice by Samra, but again, just stretching for the shot there. Great save. So again, with Meteb, there's a bit of a language barrier, but I mean, the guys need to be helping me translate to him, but the intensity is so low. But nice there from Fleety. That's what we're looking for. Although the physicality might not be there as much, the movement's good. The movement's better here. And that's really finding that shot there. Good finish. So we've got a bit more of a rhythm now. So that's a great save. That's an amazing save. That's much better. That's Mukhtar. That's 2 in 2. That's what I need in the match. He didn't even want to save it, but he still saved it. That touch is letting him down a bit. Barakat just pushing it away way too much. So by this point our goalkeeper is probably dying because it's not easy.
Yay!
Nice finish there, someone. Yeah, I can see Marwan is very tired. So it's basically an open goal at this point. Nice roll there by Farouk. So it's just body rolling. That's all we're doing. That's much better by Hamid as well.
محمد انت بتسرق ها؟
كور يا جدعان.
انت بتسرق.
هات الكور.
ما تعملهاش.
Great finish, lovely finish.
هات. Almost done, Marwan. Almost done. Okay, have a breather.
Yeah, that touch needs to get fixed. Stretching for the shots as well. That's a terrible touch. Really bad touch. Letting him down there.
Last few, Marwan. We're done.
Nice push. Very nice push. Unlucky with the finish. Just go either side of the goalkeeper. Just get more physical there. Look for the top corner the whole game. You don't need to look for the top corner. It's a nice finish. Good push. Puts it onto his left. So I think we're just setting up for a game now, so we'll go into the game. So Gadalla just wanted me to put what's it called, some Brazilian samba music on top of this. I think YouTube will not let us use that, so we'll try to make an Instagram reel for you to make this look nice. I promise. We'll let the social media manager deal with that. It's not my job, but I'm sure we can get that fixed. But it's nice to see the guys just having a bit of fun. Although I am Mr. Serious, I still don't mind guys, you know, just bonding, doing the little thing.
It is one of your spots down the line. You never really know. No idea.
You know, so long as it's all football related, I'm more than happy.
Listen, we're all a big family, but at the end of the day, we all want to play football.
Just reminding everybody that we've got new faces coming in each week, and these faces want to take shirts. They want to take everybody's shirt from them. So there's competition from places, and nobody is safe. So we're into the game now. Going to analyse this on the fly, literally watching it for the first time. And let's see what we are seeing. It's good press by the Pinks. It's good shape by the Pinks, but as you can see, the back line way too deep. Really deep here. Forcing the play there, really forcing it. And now Paul keeps turning into trouble when he could outlet to his right back. Good play at the back, but then really forced it here. I think that was Farouk. Just forcing the ball out to his right back, it's not needed. That was the right option, but the pass was lazy. Good recovery. Nice play by the Pinks. Good idea by Mo. So a little word of advice there for Hamid, just for Friday as well, just tuck in a little bit more closer to your centre back when the ball is on the right hand side of the pitch. Just a little bit of extra space between you and your centre back. Now great positioning, really good positioning, bit of a wayward pass but good positioning straight up the line to Haram. And this is where Mukhtar, you need to run into that channel. You need to run in that channel, drag the centre back or the defender with you, and then that will give people like Faris and people like Flitty, Gadalla to step up into that space. You're not a static striker. So it's good feet here, good goal. More intense, more intense, more intense. That's what I'm looking for at this stage, is how intense can we be on the ball. Given the ball very cheaply there at the back, very close to being a goal. Good turn. Now driving in and forcing the game back into the centre of the pitch. It's unnecessary. Just keep going wide. Got all that space out wide. Just keep going out there. It's a little bit hard to see what's going on right now, but just looking at the shape, This is nice work and a good goal. So I don't know whether they scored the first goal or not, but that's definitely a goal. This happened way too much. That's a terrible pass, and in a game that's probably getting cut out. Can't keep having that. Now here, Ram, got to get your head up. Hamid, you've got to make his life easier and call for it, but you have got to get your head up and look out wide. Do not run into trouble, otherwise you're going to end up injured like that. So again, this crossfield pass going nowhere. Then well held up here by Paul, and really well played out to the right back. So this is good shape, but Ram, you're going to watch yourself here, my friend. You are just walking. Now, I don't mind you staying up the pitch, staying a bit higher up the pitch, but you've got to really come across. Come across so that you're cutting off the passing lanes. It's a nice pass on the inside, and then Hamid, if you've got the legs, get up the line a little bit more. He's picked the ball back up and we've kept it moving, which is nice. Good turn by Gadalla as always. It's a good idea putting it into the right spaces. We just got to be a little bit more patient with this. So we had a small break, I think, to change the halves. So the pinks were shooting against the goalkeeper now, I think. Just made a couple of slight adjustments, or maybe now it didn't happen now, maybe it's going to happen in a minute. So I like to see players chatting to each other. I like that. It shows camaraderie and it shows that you guys are thinking. It's good press there by Ram, but Mukhtar probably needs to tuck in a little bit more. And Faris probably needs to come across just to cover those passing angles. So here our back line, as you can see on the pink side, little bit too deep. Just step it up and then drop off. Now this is very nice triggers by Hamid. Immediately when we get the ball, he pulls out to left back, which is nice to see. Good play by Ram. We're resetting here. Risky pass into the middle, but it was strong enough to get to the man. Good reset. Now can we open up? Now can we open up? That's nice. Now can we go again all the way to Clyde? Good, nice and quick. Now where's the shape? So if you look at the non-pinks, they're just strolling over. Nice strength and nice pace by Farouk to just read the game and see the ball out. No threat. Just forcing the pass there. I think that was Soma just forcing it a little bit. And that was nice tracking back, well not tracking back there, sorry, nice press from the captain there, Gadalla. And then here I think I'm telling everybody we're just going to change it. So the side that had the goalkeeper will now switch with the other side to give them a chance to shoot also. So we're active now. We've got Farouk playing as a right wing back now. That's a nice tackle there by Tolba. Forced play there. Again, we cannot force these passes. In the league, that's a goal. That's them punishing us with a goal. We cannot do that against good opposition. So Mukhtar here reacting to the game a little bit late. Should be coming across closer to the winger to pick up the ball to feet. Great finish, much better. This is literally how easy it is when the guy is on form. Just to get the ball in his stride and shoot, not take the extra touch. Then it's perfect. Good overlap there, Farouk. By Farouk, should I say. Good strength here by Zorba, really just in control of Mo there. Needs to be able to use that more often in the future. Good overlap again. Seems to be good fitness from Farouk, so, you know, nice to see, especially with our game style. And Dolba on the ball there, which is one of the reasons he plays for Vikings. Is a very composed guy. Can just take it anywhere in the pitch and keep it simple, keep the ball ticking over, which I like to see. So I'm just looking at this shape, and there is, as you can see, the space is opening up now as people are getting more tired. We're getting more shape, more space on the pitch. But we're playing in these small gaps too much. We're not finding any spaces by opening up. We need to open our body up, switch the play a bit. Okay, so now we've added 2 extra goals. So before we could only score with a one-touch finish into the middle, and now we have added 2 more goals, right and left hand side. So the team without the goalkeeper, they have 3 goals to defend. I was told here that he didn't take 2 touches, but the evidence suggests that was 2 touches. 1 to set himself and 1 to score. So it's on camera. But what really you should have done to score the goal is come to the ball quicker. So if you watch when Kareem passes the ball, you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. Run at the ball and just score. And then Mo can't tackle the ball, or whoever it was that tackled you. You've seen it on film now, so I wasn't lying. Nice out ball there by Metab. So it's good overlaps here by Farouk on the right hand side, but also very good defending as well. It's a high foot, but we've played on. It's a good fight between these two. Should be scoring that. So there was a complaint here of handball, but the handball happened and then Mukhtar had the shot from 6 yards away, didn't put it away. So you get the advantage, you don't score, we keep playing. And we play to the referee's call, which is my call. We can't just sit here and complain. So out wide there, Hamid, good idea to put the ball in the box. Just balance yourself, don't pressure yourself. And it should be easier to put the ball across. I've just said to everybody here, the pink team is losing now 2-0. So this is called scenario training. So we're just making the scenario that they're losing. It's how do you deal with this pressure? That all of a sudden you're losing, you know, backs against the wall. How much character do you have in the team to win the game? Loose pass here by Farouk. Just put your body in the way of the ball. If you're under pressure, take the foul. If it's really that difficult, just take the foul, reset. So, as a word of advice, Farouk, you took the ball there with your back towards the opposition goal. As a right back, you should be opening your body up onto your right foot when you're taking the ball. Nice simple play by Tolba here. Dangerous play by Jabri here. Bouncing ball across his goal. Just go back to the goalkeeper. If you're in trouble, go back to the goalkeeper. Don't have to play across the goal like that. It's very dangerous. It's a nice touch by Faris, I think that was, but the pass forced it. Do not need to force it. And then nice simple play here by Flitty to just concede the throw is better than do something stupid and they go on to score. And then from here, as you can see, the Pinks are going in the right direction. Just a bit of a heavy pass. Good movement there by Mukhtar, I'm looking, but just come a little bit closer to that channel. So whatever channel we're playing in, get yourself a little bit closer to it so the through ball gets in line with your feet.
Get involved in the play. Get involved.
Very loose at the back, and then Mukhtar again doing that thing that you do during big matches. Too many touches in the box. Just hit it. You know, we've scored goals from own goals and deflections all the time. Just hit it. Just like that. So Hamid's gone for the shot there, and then we've lost Kareem to a bit of a jarred knee. He already suffers from an ACL injury, so we want to go easy on that. So I think I jump on the pitch at this point. Let's have a look. So I'm jumping in at centre back for these guys to cover up while Kareem is healing. And straight away, that's a terrible pass by myself, so not good. We all make mistakes, even me, so I will say it on camera, that wasn't good enough. This is good football by the Pinks, by the way. Really nice triangles, but there then needs to be an end result. So good triangles again. Hamid's offside, doesn't believe me, but you can see it in the video. Very much offside. I'm talking about the first one, Hamid, the first time you're offside, but it is what it is. Alright, so playing a long ball out wide. If centre backs have the ball in that position, that's, you know, the long ball should only go out wide like this. But this is just pure world class here. Look at this. Oh, sold him for a bag of chips, boys. And then a no look pass. That's it. I'm retired. That's all you're getting from me all season. But anyway, back to the game. Loose pass at the back. Nice opening of the play there by Gadalla, but then immediate 3-man press, 2-man press. I think they scored there. So the aim of the game is to get it out wide and score in the cones. So as you can see, when I'm getting the ball, I'm just trying to find the wingers there and be a lot more direct. So, you know, when you're training, train to the objective. If the objective is to score out wide, just score out wide. You know, if that means you have to go first time long and wide, do it. It doesn't all have to be sexy football all the time. So the backline of the non-pink team is all over the place. And that I've never understood that from Method. He does that in games, in training, all the time. It does not work for him. He doesn't have it in the locker, in my opinion, and he needs to either develop it or stop doing it. But it kills teams, man. Really need to stop playing that crossfield long ball if you can't do it. But here we're resetting again. Lovely turn here by Tolba, I think that is. So good little triangles here. And nicely played by Soma. I think that was our right back. Tolba again with the ball, and now the Pinks are pressing into the right area, so that's how the press should be. But then Faris needs to close that space down as well, so they can't have that quick easy split ball. This is better by Mukhtar. Gets the ball, turns and shoots. Okay, the shot wasn't great, but that's exactly what I'm looking for from all of the strikers at this club. And let me just have a small injury to deal with, I think. So there's no press here by the Pinks. There's 4 Pinks almost in the box there. 0 press. So, you know, if a team is going to play football in front of you lazily without any intensity, you've got to have someone leading that line. So if that's Mukhtar, if that's Faris, lead that line, push that press. Don't let them play. Don't ever let people play football in front of you. This is nice carry by Paul. Great finish there as well. That's how simple football should be. And it's nice to see us doing it. It's not a foul, in my opinion. Looking back at it, definitely is not a foul. Just a bad touch. And slipped over and made the most out of it. So, very lucky to get the foul there. So, word of advice for Soma. I think he's still playing right back for the non-bib team. Just do it quicker. Just simplify all of your actions. Just do it quicker. So we were talking about this, myself and Kareem, afterwards. Just got to turn, give it back, or just turn to your right, and that's it. And even now, I mean, the lazy tackles, lazy presses. A lot of ball watching. When you're looking at the game now, a lot of guys just standing, hands on hips, looking at where the ball is, just staring at it, not reacting to it, not being proactive, not making positions for their teammates to find them in. Just nice, simple passes. That's what I'm trying to do from the back. Just get it and keep it simple. Everything simple. Find your pass, take it. Now I'm looking up, I'm seeing that long ball, I'm giving it. So this is what I want from everybody, is just you see the pass, hit it. And your head should always be scanning. So if you look back at that, my head's always looking around before the ball's even at my feet. Where am I going next? And obviously we should have finished that and scored there, but these things happen. So here resetting with the goal kick. Again, keeping it simple. Paul is always showing excellent, positioning, starting positioning close to his centre backs just to get the ball, and then he attracts 3 or 4 different pink players around him. Now, what he should try to do, it's not his fault, is to set it back. So he's brought 3 players into him, set it back to his centre back or to his full backs, and then we should play out from the back there. Because he really is bringing everybody in close to him, which is nice to see. As for the Pinks, just losing a bit of shape now. So just looking at them, it's head down, walking back. Hamid testing his groin there. If you have a problem, if you have an injury, you got to tell me during the game so we can deal with it. This is well recovered by Hamid. Ball went out of play there. If I get people arguing whether it went out or not, we're just going to play on. We don't have time to mess around, just play on. So there was a foul. Soma fouled in the box, and obviously led to a penalty, which is nicely tucked away by Mukhtar. And the information that I was giving Soma afterwards was just this unnecessary. If the attacker is playing with his back to goal, you don't need to push it. So again, crossfield pass, gets to the man, and then bad touch. So Barakat, we discussed this, just that first touch. That ball comes across to you, you've got to make sure that you have a good touch there. And I think that's the end of the video. So it was a decent training session. I think if we were to round everything off, I enjoyed it. I hope the boys enjoyed it again. That the new faces also enjoyed it. It's there's a long way to go. I said this at the beginning as well, and in the previous video, that there is a long journey ahead. Now, when we play football in these matches, we look good. We don't look bad, but it's the basics that are going to help us become really good footballers. So it's the short, sharp passes. Dealing with the football in tight areas. When the drills start looking good, the football is going to look 10 times better. So we're going to work towards that, and once we've accomplished that, I think we're going to go into some really good places in this league and in the future as well. So I hope to work with you guys again in the future, and inshallah see you on Friday and next week. Thanks for coming. See you again soon.